Hey everybody, this is Dan Reynolds, account executive at Lusha. Welcome to the Find a Way Sales Podcast. And today we have a very special guest. His name is Daniel Goldstone. Daniel, how are you?
I'm very well, Dan. How are you, man?
Great, thank you. Let's get into it. Daniel, introduce yourself.
I'm Dan. I'm originally from Leeds in the UK, in the north of England. I'm 35. I'm a father of three kids, Hugo, Minnie, and Jean. Hugo's 6. Minnie is recently 4, and Jean is 6 months. I'm married to Natalie. She's also from the UK. I've been living in Israel, in Tel Aviv, and now Givatayim for the past 11 years. And I've been immersed professionally in the high-tech space, specifically in the sales channel for that period with companies like ClickTail, who were experts and industry leaders in customer experience analytics, then segued to web measurements to build a career with SimilarWeb, who I joined very early on and had an extremely successful career with and helped them build in many areas of their sales force. And then after a great meeting with one of the co-founders of Klear, who I work with today, who was formerly Twitterland, I met him, Guy, at the MWC in Barcelona. It was a great meeting, which turned out to be a very quick job interview. And 5.5 years after that, I'm working with them, and from joining them very early on, now enjoying a career with them for the best part of 5.5 years.
Amazing. What exactly do they do?
Klear are a tech company specializing in influencer marketing. So they supply brands and agencies an end-to-end solution to help optimize how you go about discovering influencers on social media. They provide very deep analytics to help you vet and verify influencers to see how they perform, what their top content looks like, what the demographics of their fans are, and make sure that they're fit for your brand and the campaigns you're launching. And they also have a campaign system, a CRM, to help you manage relationships and also automate campaign performance.
I mean, this is it. Like, what a business to be in.
Definitely. It's, I mean, when I joined them, I didn't know too much about it, even though I was obviously using Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all these things daily. I'm kind of an addict. But I didn't really know the magnitude of the industry or the period when I joined them, that they were at such a interesting time. So we're very much pioneers in the space. When I joined them, it was relatively embryonic, and now it's grown into an extremely competitive space with every man and his dog offering solutions. And Klear can confidently say, we cater for circa 2,000 brands and agencies globally. And we have arguably the most robust and best-in-class influencer tool in the market.
We got into this thing fast in this conversation. Like, I mean, you started telling me about your personal life, and I've obviously follow you on Instagram. Like, how many stories are you posting in a day? What's your average number?
I don't know. It can range from half a dozen to 20. And what I like to do, so I don't have any family in Israel. And what I like to do is leave them a detailed log of the type of stuff I get up to with my children, what I get up to in my professional life, and what I get up to in my social life, which with my children ranges from schlepping them to kindergarten and school in the morning to doing outside activities with them, like sport. I do a lot with my son, who's at a good age for it. He's 6. It's a great age to physically start bonding with them and doing sport. And I like to show the journeys I make. I like them to see where I live. I live in an amazing environment, and I like to show them me cycling to work and the office I live in. And it's so easy to be enthusiastic about it because it really is brilliant. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And then I like to show what I do when I'm in the gym. I'm inspired by people that usually give 100% effort into anything. So I like to try and give that when I'm in the gym, even if I'm not the best. And the same when I'm at work, I'm going to give you 100% effort. If you've got a towel and it's wet like this, I'm going to wring everything out of it And I think I have that type of thing that I like to share on social media.
Amazing. I mean, let's just talk about, I've followed you on Instagram and I see what your life is, and you've spoken, a little bit. Like, I want to hear about the loves of your life, specifically, like, talk to me. Leeds United. Go on.
So Leeds is great. You and I had a chat before you started recording this about following a team or specific sport and enjoying a specific accolade or achievement during that time. Now, my team, Leeds, have had some ups and downs. They have a huge history, an illustrious history. And in my lifetime, they have now had some big success. But in 91, 92, we won the league, that was before the Premier League arrived. It was the old Division 1 under Howard Wilkinson. And since then, we had some ups and downs, and we went into the Champions League, and then we were badly managed as a business and a football club, and we unfortunately got relegated from the Premier League, which most clubs and fans were very sad to see us leave, because Leeds is a one club city with a huge fan base locally and globally. So, we have a lot of animosity between us and other clubs. We don't really have a local derby, as in like Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Everton, Aston Villa, Birmingham, Arsenal, Tottenham, Celtic, Rangers. Leeds basically hate everyone and everyone hates us.
Beautiful. So, I love it.
So us leaving to the Division 1, we've been there for 16 years until Marcelo Bielsa, aka El Loco from Argentina, arrived in Leeds, somehow basically revolutionized the way we play football and got us promoted with a second-rate team, basically.
Like, just listen to the passion that's coming out, of your mouth. It's incredible. It's just incredible. I knew I was going to hit one there out of the park with Leeds. And I know this is a sales podcast, so we're slowly going to transition back, to the reason people are listening and watching. But I'm not leaving social media just yet, because I did see you also had a couple references on there to a certain David Goggins. And I've seen you working out, and I've seen you working out with your kids, taking them to boxing lessons. And I see you running, and I just think, man, oh man, like the discipline that this guy has in his life, to do those physical activities surely must help him transition to work. Because for me, sales, part of my secret to whatever success I've had in sales, when I'm peaking, I'm so disciplined with what I do. And I always relate it back to something like working out. You can be fit, for 6 months, a year, 2 years, but as soon as you stop, you lose it. And it's the same for me with sales. When I'm doing everything I need to do, I'm firing on all cylinders. But when I stop, I stop. So just talk to me a little bit about the discipline that you have, at the gym. And then for you, if at all, I mean, maybe it doesn't, but does it cross over into how you sell?
It definitely does. And it definitely affects your mindset. And you've got to remember, when you're in a sales team, sometimes, like when I started with Klear, it was 3 co-founders, a programmer, and a marketing expert, and then me. And they didn't have a sales team. They didn't have a sales strategy. They basically had some software and some pricing. And I was by myself. I was a lone wolf. But as you grow, now I work in a big team of salespeople. We're a team. And what I see is when you work in the gym, sometimes I'm working out with a buddy, or I'm working out with my son, or I'm running with someone. I put both of those instances and scenarios, whether you're in a team in the gym, or you're playing football in a team, or you're boxing, or you're by yourself, to work. I think if depending on the scenario, either scenario that you're in, you have to give 100% effort. This is the way I see it. You will not fall short. It's the law of averages. You will not fall short. So a friend of mine, I just posted something about a workout I did today. So I'm working out every day. I've got the most amazing gym on the top floor of the highest building in Israel. And a friend of mine said to me, "What's it like? Is it not difficult to work out on your own?" And do you know what? I've got to motivate myself to work out. So you said something about discipline. I've got to motivate myself, Dan. The dog seems to agree with me by the sounds of it.
I'd be working from home, man. Like,
love it.
Anything can happen. Do you remember a couple of years ago where there was a guy doing an interview on the BBC. It ended up being his home office, and the kid opens the door, and the nanny pulls the kid out. Do you remember that?
Dude, I've been like,
And everybody was like, ha ha ha.
I'm in meetings like this sometimes. I've got my hand out just holding my kid away.
We all thought it was so funny. The guy had a Zoom call and his kid. We thought it was so ha ha ha. Now, like, come on, oh, man. Sorry, we were before the dog barked.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it helps. It's not just a discipline. You've got to be motivated. You've got to be motivated. In sales, you're gonna have off days. I'm having a tough quarter. Yeah, but nothing is going to stop me. We're in the third month of the quarter. Nothing is going to stop me. I'm relentless with it. I'm relentless like I am when I'm doing burpees, or I'm running, or I'm jump roping, or I'm doing pull-ups, or whatever it is. Nothing's going to stop me. I will go to the end.
Amazing. Tell me about your prospecting motion. You're an influencer platform. What does it look like in your world?
You mean for prospecting leads?
Yeah, when you're prospecting, reaching out to people.
I think it's pretty easy today for us because, any brand we come across, or any agency, any creative or communications or PR agency, is a great lead for us. As long as they're working with influencers, which a vast majority of them are very well versed in this, or their clients are very well versed in this, it's really easy to start a conversation with them. You can, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, about how I applied Lusha to help me with that many years ago, to have arguably our biggest client, and we still work with them today to achieve that. But I think you've got to be that friendly person. I think you've got to be that authentic person, that transparent person. That the soft selling is the best. Selling when you're not desperate is the best. And your name is paramount, Dan. Letting people, even if they're not interested, letting people know that they can consider you for future is also equally important. So,
I find like the sales community today gets so wrapped up, in this method, or this sales trainer, or doing this at this point, and don't doing that. Like, there is no one size fits all. And
no way. And I work in a sales team. Everyone has different qualities and strengths and weaknesses. I can't work like the next guy or next girl, and they can't do it like me. I promise you. We laugh about it and talk about it. We talk about the deals that we all do, and the rate that we do them, and the style that we do them, and the size that we do them, or the quantity that we do them. You want a varied sales force. And you don't want robots. You want people that can express themselves naturally. The bottom line is, for salespeople, is that they need to be mature, they need to be motivated, and they need to be capable. Not everyone's capable to have the maturity level that's needed, or the motivation that's needed to do it. But if you've got them, I think that you will be capable to do it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, this is why, the sales floor is such a good place to be on, and we all look forward to getting back, to that environment where you can, just hear it, because, even though the guy next to you has a different style, and you'll never do things the way he does, and he'll never do, the way you things do, like, you'll always pick something up, and you'll take a piece of that and you'll throw it in, and it works, and just A/B test. I mean, this is the beauty of sales. And being yourself, and it keeps coming up in all of the conversations that I have with top sellers. The word that keeps coming up is authentic. And there's so much information out there. We might be cold calling people, but everybody knows what we do and who we are. To some degree. I mean, inside sales, somebody might pick up the phone. They're 90% of the way there. So what are you going to start? Digging into their pains and what they're doing. Find out how much they know about you, because they might have their credit card in their hand, ready to go. So you just have to be authentic, with them, and not stick necessarily to these plans.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you've got to be consistent and driven, which is where the motivation comes from. And you're going to fall short sometimes. But if you're on top of your game and you're feeling good and you're not desperate, you're going to hit your goals. As long as you can accept defeat and take it like a man or a woman and just move on from it. I'm very lucky with my mindset, me personally, because I don't suffer from depression. I'm very, very positive. I've got a very healthy outlook. I'm extremely optimistic. And if I have an off day, Dan, if you pee me off or someone or something doesn't go right, or I have an off day for whatever reason, the next day it's not on my mind. It doesn't control my world. And there's a lot of people that it does, and I realize mental health is a real important thing, and it's been a challenging time, more importantly during this insane pandemic. And I'm very lucky with the way that I am, that I'm able to just continue through. I think it's partly to do with my upbringing as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about sports a little bit. Like, baseball is a great example of failure and bouncing back from it. I mean, the best baseball batters hit 300, which means they failed 7 out of 10 times. I mean, flat out, you'll be the best on your team and make $14 million if you fail 7 out of 10 times.
Love that. Wow, that's incredible.
Let's talk about Lusha for a minute. I remember when I first spoke with you and when I first started working here, you told me a story, and it was like, it blew me away. And it was part of the reason that I took the job that I did and that I'm here. Just tell our audience that story. I think it was New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so Lusha, I remember when it first came about, and I work for a startup, and they're not interested in spending on anything. There's no way we're going to buy it, irrespective of what it costs. We don't really buy tea bags or anything. It's a lean company. We're a privately owned company. We're not a SimilarWeb or we're very lucky and we've got everything we need, but we weren't going out there to buy a tool like Lusha. We usually work out how to do things on our own. That being said, someone mentioned it in the office, and I added it to my web browser, and I was using it from time to time. And then it came that we had a trip to go to the US for a few things. We went to see like Cola and Chick-fil-A and Daimler and these type of people down in Atlanta. And when we came back to New York, my COO, one of the co-founders, Guy, said, "Hey Dan, I want you to book your calendar for the week whilst we're in Manhattan. I've got some meetings. I want you to go try and do some business." And I said, "No problem." So I'm out there prospecting, doing what we said before, outreaching to people and trying to connect with old leads and whatever. And he sends me a LinkedIn profile. He doesn't send me her details. He sends me a LinkedIn profile. He said, "Why don't you call her?" And I got her number. This sounds quite disingenuous, but I think sometimes you have to do this when you're cold calling. So I got her number. I picked it up. I called her. She answered. I said, "Hey, Jess, this is Dan. You might not remember, but we spoke a couple of months ago. I'm with Klear, da-di-da-di-da. We do influencer marketing." It made sense because she probably speaks to loads of people in influencer marketing because that's her job. I said, "I'm in Manhattan next week. I'd love it if I could swing by the office and grab a coffee." She says, "Sure, no problem. When's good?" Dude. I met Jess, who they're still a client today, JP Morgan Chase Bank, the largest bank in the world, and oldest bank in the world. I met her. In the end, we didn't meet this is another thing. We didn't meet in her office in Manhattan. We ended up meeting, Manhattan?
Yeah, I worked there.
I met her in a financier, a cafe,
yeah.
on Lexington and Fifth.
Yeah.
And dude, it was cold. I'd just come from Israel. It was cold. I walked in. I'm sat. It's like a typical cafe diner. I'm sat pushed up with I'm dressed for work. I'm not dressed like I am in Tel Aviv with my shorts and my Air Force Ones on. I've got, I'm dressed for work, and I'm sat cold with my scarf on a small circular table, waiting for this lady that I've never met to pitch her Klear. And it turns out she was using a competitor. She was unhappy with it. A few months down the line, we sealed a deal with them. Without Lusha, that would never have come about.
I mean, we could probably do a whole hour plus course on that call, and talk about it nonstop. I mean, we'll have to listen to this again, but that sounded like that first call was what, 45 seconds to a minute?
Yeah.
Did you even say what you name your, what you guys actually do? I mean,
really,
it was like
no, just getting straight to the point, being concise, again, you don't want to manipulate people. We spoke about authenticity before, but you've got to cut. I know this from when I first started doing sales. You have a very short period to get someone's attention. You don't know if they're cooking, if they're looking after their kids, if they're heading to the gym, if they're in the middle of trying to achieve their quota or a deadline. So I said, hi, it's Dan. I don't know if you remember, we spoke a few months ago.
That's it. That's it.
Straight
You're not
away,
trying to, you just need, yeah, you closed her on the meeting. That's it. You closed her on the meeting. You weren't trying to do anything other than that.
That's half the battle. You need that champion or that DM, and you need them to commit. And if you get them in a meeting, you've got an opportunity. You've got a chance. Yeah. I'm lucky in that scenario that I did that. And like I said, it's not just the sale; it's what comes after the sale. Klear have done a royal job, an amazing, well-polished job at retaining them.
Amazing, amazing. Listen, this has been like, such a great conversation, and we're running short on time. We could talk for hours, but
yeah, man.
Just before we go, tell people how they can reach you, and give us the elevator pitch again on Klear, because if anybody's listening and this sounds like you might want to reach out to Dan, this is who he is, this is how to reach him, and this is what Klear does. Go for it.
Sure. So Klear is an influencer marketing company in business for 10 years, supporting 2,000 plus global brands like Victoria's Secret, Daimler Mercedes, Coca-Cola, P&G, and global agencies like BCW and Ogilvy PR. We help you with an end-to-end solution to help you optimize how you work with influencers, from discovering to vetting and verifying, managing the relationships, and measuring campaign performance, all in one place. If you'd like to learn about that or just see some awesome tech anytime, feel free to email me at Daniel, DANIEL, at Klear, that's Klear with a K, LEAR.com. I'll always be happy to help.
Dan, you are the man. Thank you so much for your time. That was incredible. Hopefully we'll have a chance to catch up soon. And again, thank you so much. That was a great
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. It's great chatting, man. And best of luck with all of this. And let's chat again soon.
Can't wait to see what you do today on Instagram.
Oh, killed it! I'm already post gym, and this is these are my snacks now. I'm getting into my healthy snacks: nuts, raisins, and coconut. That's everything.
Good stuff, Dan. Thank you again. Take care.
Bye, Dan.